Hey everyone, have a here, bro. Video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, I'm going to be quickly going over the upcoming LR Tien. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So of course, this information dropped early in the morning yesterday and fastest, I guess, early in the morning today, right? But it's about like 12 hours since this information dropped on the official Twitter X page, and most of you guys have reviewed it, but I'll at least give you my thoughts, my insights, talk a little bit about the team builds and the design of this unit here. This is a Extreme STR Tien unit. Interesting choice that they had, but there were kind of leaks and discussions about this unit coming out as the Part 2 LR. So interesting thing about this unit for me is, first and foremost, the leader skill. It's actually a final trump card, a leader skill, 200% final trump card. So remember, the yellow coin LRs now, I'll make this a little bit bigger. The yellow coin LRs now have a dual 200% leader skill, making it the most relevant leader skills ever for LRs, in my opinion. So these teams are runnable. And you do have Earthlings as well. Earthlings isn't a huge category, but Final Trump Card is fantastic. Along with that, let's look at the rest of the skills here. If you're looking at super attack, it does not have defensive boost. It just has the stacking ability of attack on the 18 key, and then raises attack for 1 turn. Both of them lowers attack and defense for the SAs. The passive skill here, they have an interest animation which provides you key +4 or 4 to 8 randomly at the start of the turn for 10 turns, just to give you the opportunity, of course, to continue to stack your SA multiplier. Then you have a basic effect here, which is kind of new. We're seeing maybe a new step up in terms of what the base effect's going to be, because generally what you've been seeing is 200%. Now we see 250. Maybe 250 is from here on out, especially in the upcoming global anniversary. We might see some units that are, attack and defense 250% baseline. And then you also have a really nice feature here is all allies defense 30% for 2 turns. You gotta love the multiple turn effects here, especially if you might run this as a floater unit, but of course if you run it in a main rotation, it's very good as well. So nice base effect here for a yellow coin LR. And then here's where it gets interesting. Base before receiving an attack within the turn, damage reduction rate of 75%, very high. So if you're running this in first position, you're also going to get plus 400% to defense, damage reduction 30%, key +3, attack 100%, defense of 200%, and then additional damage rate reduction at 20% for 3 turns. So if you're always in the first position, you're going to basically get this activated all the time, which you're going to get a minimum of 50% defense, damage reduction with a ton of defensive boost. Now remember that first hit, you're going to be absolutely fine. It's pretty much damage reduction that in first position, the first attackers, they're not going to do any damage to you. So, but anyway, this is very, very strong for first position. But then you're like, okay, well, maybe I want to run other units in first position. This is the nice thing about this unit here is the flexibility. Is if you're going to run it in second or a floater, you're not going to get as much defensive boost. You're going to get more attacking, which is nice here. Attack 100%, defense 200%, and then attacks are effective against all types for 4 turns, and then attack 400% and defense of 200% with a great chance of evasion. So this is going to be tanking in the first position, and then in the second or third you are going to be dodging. But remember, you still get that 75% before receiving an attack, not before getting an attack, just literally getting hit, right? So if you're dodging, that's if you still get hit, you're going to be okay. So anyway, that's what I'm reading it as, right? So but it might be when you receive an attack, you lose that, that first instance there. Anyway, when you're receiving a key blast, a super attack, high chance of nullifying and countering with tremendous power, and then nullifies and counters guaranteed if it's a Kamehameha category enemy. All right. So being again an extreme type unit, if you're going to bring in events that has generally like a Goku as an enemy, and and it's a Key Blast super attack, that guy stands no chance because you're going to nullify and then also counter. So very strong there. I like the flexibility, right? First or second position, it's not locked in into one position. However, it seems like, you know, on certain teams, you might want to run him in first position, especially his own team. Let's go ahead and move on then to the active skill here. The active skill, pretty basic. It's just can be activated when there's a turtle score Kamehameha category enemy, or starting from the 5th turn from the start of the turn, and then you just do ultimate damage to enemy and then keep us 24 for 1 turn. Links aren't linking very well, except for pretty much Tau, I would say, right? And it's not on that many categories. On Final Trump card, well, World Tournament, Bond of Master and Disciple, Earthbred Fighters, Earthlings, DB Saga, Bond of Friendship, and then Tournament Participants. So if you want to run it on an Earthbred Fighters team, then that works out well. But some of these other teams, it kind of works out fine too, because there's really no restriction on like categories. You have to, you know, have an extreme class on the team or anything of that nature. It's all allies for the defensive boost. So it will help. It will help, in my opinion, a DB Saga team if you're going to run it on there, even tournament participants, because this could be a 30% 2-turn support unit kind of anywhere, right, on any of these teams. So nice that they design it that way. Now, looking at the team in of itself, right, the team in of itself is interesting because of Final Trump card. I didn't put all the TURs on here. There's really like a small handful of other TURs you can use, but ultimately it's the LRs and then the super easy A's, right? So this is going to be a very interesting team to build in terms of like adding Buhans to the team, right? So because not only it's not showing here, but the Tech Buhan is available on this team here as well. But of course, you have both 10-year anniversaries you can run at 200%. 200% is fine for the 10-year anniversary unit, especially if you run them in second position and just wait for the tag and the transformation, the Super Vegeta or Gogeta. This team is going to be probably in the top 10. Just by looking at the LR usage and not even looking at Earthlings, which again, it's not all that much in terms of that. But you can run a super class team, a lot of great super class units, but then you can also run a lot of other units in terms of Earthlings that are, again, kind of viable right now, like a Tau, right? But look at this. You have, you know, Great Ape Vegeta. You have, both 7-year EZA anniversary units, right? So Final Trump card is very, very strong. So having a first or second or third position unit, a flexible position unit, you can run this team very well and have a lot of flexibility. Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. It's a top 10 team somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be top 5, but yeah, we've been waiting for a Final Trump card leader that's full on 200% for quite some time, and it's crazy that's Tien who ends up being the leader to that. And again, here's the super easy A's here. Now, quick, I'll do again the full breakdown when the data download comes out. We'll really dive deeper into this unit here, especially this team. This team's gonna be very interesting. Then I can do best teams and see where this team fits. But just looking at the Tau, right, the Tau team, the 250-220 team. You can run them in first position, or you can use them as a floater, right? So it's a very, very interesting dynamic, and I'm it's the value is there. However, again, this is a yellow coin LR, so this is a luxury unit, and I constantly say this about a lot of units is that, hey, you know what, when you're thinking about luxury units, it's not must-have type units. It's just, hey, if you have the ability to spend for some stones, or you're not saving for stones and just dive into a banner like this, remember we're gonna get some free summons here as well on this banner from Dokkan Day. So good luck on that and getting this unit. But there is a slight, it's better than just luxury for this unit because of the Final Trump card 200%. Just slightly, but yeah, summon at your own will for free to play type, players out there. I would just save for the global anniversary, because I'm sure those units are just going to be out of control. So anyway, those are my initial thoughts for this unit here. Luxury unit, slightly above normal in terms of yellow coin LRs. I'm not sure if there's going to be a pity system on this or not. But of course, you can purchase this unit down the road later on when this arrives on another banner. Yeah, those are my thoughts here. Tell me what you guys think, and of course, I'll be doing the full breakdown when the data download comes out in terms of building a full team with the final trump card, which looks very, very interesting. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkan, and we'll catch you next time. Later.